Stillwater concert goers and law enforcement gear up for calf ride, a review of Trump's first 100 days, and OSU students set a new volunteering record. This is Bullet Broadcast. Hello and thank you for joining us for our last episode of the semester. I'm Sam Stockard. One of Stillwater's largest, most popular music festivals, Calf Ride, is this weekend. The festival offers 3 days of red dirt music from artists such as Jason Boland, Randy Rogers Band, and Josh Abbott Band. The event draws in a number of people from around the state, and with that comes an increased need for public safety. Local law enforcement announced sobriety checkpoints would be set up throughout Stillwater. Stillwater Police Department Captain Kyle Gibbs told the Ocali that the sobriety checkpoints will be set up at Sanger and 6th Avenue, West Lakeview Road and Western Road, and North Washington Street and Richmond Road. Patrols throughout the town will also increase through the weekend. Last year's Calf Ride Festival yielded about 480 citations, 79 of those being DUIs. Now, on to some national news. Here's a quick recap of President Trump's first 100 days in office. On January 24th, Trump signed an executive action to advance approval of the Keystone XL and Dakota Access pipelines. On January 27th, Trump signed an executive order restricting entry to the U.S. from certain Muslim-majority countries for the next 90 days. The order was met with protest, particularly at airports, and was blocked by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in February. And then jumping forward to February 1st, when Trump nominated Neil Gorsuch to succeed the late Antonin Scalia at the Supreme Court, he was confirmed on April 7th. Then, on February 13th, Trump's national security advisor, Michael Flynn, resigned after reports surfaced that he misled administrative officials about his communications with the Russian ambassador to the U.S., making him potentially vulnerable to blackmail from the Russians. Investigations involving Flynn and the rest of the Trump campaign are still looking into these allegations. Fast forward a couple weeks, and on March 6th, the House Republicans unveiled their bill to repeal and replace Obamacare. Shortly afterwards, on March 24th, House GOP leaders pulled their Obamacare legislation after revolt from fellow Republicans. On April 6th, Trump ordered a military strike on a Syrian airbase in response to a chemical weapons attack that killed 69 civilians. And then on April 13th, the U.S. military dropped the largest non-nuclear bomb ever to be used in combat onto Afghanistan. The GBU-43, or Massive Ordnance Air Blast, nicknamed the mother of all bombs, targeted a complex of ISIS-controlled caves. The attack killed at least 94 militants. Which brings us to now. The House voted overwhelmingly Wednesday to approve a $1.1 trillion government funding bill that keeps agencies operating through the end of September. The vote was 309 to 118. The Senate is expected to clear it today and send it to the President Donald Trump for his signature before Friday's deadline when the government would run out of money. But that doesn't mean the government won't shut down later on this year. And why? Because of the new health bill, of course. The GOP are currently shopping around a new health care bill, but still don't seem to have the votes to push it through. Trump has been meeting with key GOP lawmakers to get the votes needed for the bill. The president tweeted out these two statements in frustration to the resistance of the bill, saying, quote, "The reason for the plan negotiated between the Republicans and Democrats is that we need 60 votes in the Senate, which are not there. We either need to elect more Republican senators in 2018 or change the rules now to 51%. Our country needs a good shutdown in September to fix the mess," unquote. We will wait and see whether the health bill gets the votes it needs or a government shutdown in September. Well, we are in dead week at Oklahoma State University. For some students, this means summer is 2 weeks away. And for about 3,000 students, it means a new chapter. Aside from projects, clubs, and theses, students like to show leadership skills by engaging with their community. For these students, serving the community became an integral part of their college years. Now they are being rewarded. Alexis Winston has more.
An orange cord, a small symbol standing for a much greater meaning. Students from different majors, backgrounds, and ethnicities who proudly wear the cord all have one thing in common: They love to serve people. Volunteer Services Coordinator Joyce Montgomery loves that about the program.
Students very seldom get thanked for the service that they do on campus, and we have a pillar of service on campus, and we think that's very important. A pillar being that the vice presidents have agreed that service is one of the 6 things that they would like to see every student involved in before they leave this campus. The fall of 2009, we came up with a program called CORD, and it stands for Creating Opportunities for Responsible Development.
The program started small, but it's now growing at a record-setting pace.
There's definitely been a noticeable uptick every single semester when you're looking at the previous year. Like, never have we had a down, like, it's never gone down. Like, it's consistently increased when you look at the numbers over time.
This is the CORD 132 students who will be wearing around their neck as they walk across the stage May 12th and 13th. Many of these students actually stopped recording their hours after hitting the 400 mark, but they still managed to record 69,043 community service hours, and the Service Learning Center is still taking applications.
We think that the testimonials that these students are giving, the reason why they've been involved, what they've learned by being involved, is pretty phenomenal when it comes to what we hope the soft skills that students will gain as they're students at Oklahoma State.
These students will certainly leave more than just a degree. Montel isn't with me at the desk today, but he still has our sports recap. How are you, Montel?
I'm doing well, thanks, Sam. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in for the final episode of Bullet Broadcast for the semester. Let's get right to it. In recent news, the Oklahoma State women's soccer team found out that they will be getting a new soccer complex. The $20 million project will hopefully be completed by the fall of 2018 and is currently under construction where the old soccer field is. The new and improved complex will offer club seats, a plaza, kitchen facilities, equipment rooms, and much more. It will also be able to seat more than 3,500 people. The Cowgirls will be looking to take advantage of one of the newer and nicer stadiums in the country. Although construction will still be going on in the upcoming season, OSU will still play home games there in 2017. Speaking of playing at home, men's and women's tennis found out that they will both be hosting regionals in the upcoming NCAA tournament. For the men's program, it is the number 11 seed in the bracket, and it's also the 2nd straight year to host regionals. They will play on May 12th. For the women's, it is the 3rd straight season to be hosting, and it comes into the bracket ranked 9th and will play on May 13th. Both OSU teams will play the University of Missouri-Kansas City in the first game. A lot of good has come out of OSU spring sports this year. However, football has made its presence this spring in the NFL Draft. April 27th was the first day of the draft, but it wasn't until Saturday where a couple of Cowboys, Vincent Taylor and Chris Carson, heard their names called on the main stage. Taylor was picked 194th overall by the Chiefs, while Carson was taken 249th by the Seahawks. After the draft, 5 more Cowboys got their call and were heading across the nation as well. Jordan Stearns and Ashton Lampkins both announced they got calls from the Chiefs and came to terms. Also, Blake Jarwin agreed to terms with the Dallas Cowboys. Lastly, J. Jawan Seals got picked up by the Bears, and the Packers swooped up Lindsey Pipkins. Each player will be fighting to get a roster spot. Well, that is all the time I have for you guys today. It has been a joy serving OSU Nation, and I hope everybody tunes in for next semester's edition of Bullet Broadcast. Back to you, Sam.
Thanks, Montel. That's all the time we have for today. We want to take this time now to say thank you for the support throughout our first semester on air. All of us here at Bullet Broadcast have enjoyed every minute of it, and unfortunately I will not be returning as anchor, but I know the rest of the team cannot wait to start again in the fall, where they'll be back on air in August. So for the last time for Bullet Broadcast, I'm Sam Stockard. Goodbye.